Welcome back to Educating Houston. Now, today's video is definitely hard for me to make. It's how to win in the 2022 housing market inventory crisis. Now, first of all, I want to make a point to say to you guys that I would not recommend my own personal client even do these things, but I'm still making this video. And the reason I'm making this video is, quite frankly, some people have to purchase right now. So I'm going to give you some tips and basically just some opinions on how to get an offer for a home accepted as from the seller's perspective. So I'm going to come at you guys as if I was representing a seller and we have a whole bunch of offers and what we would look for in order to accept your offer. Now, again, you guys, as you know from all of my videos, I am not saying to buy right now. If anything, I'm saying the opposite of that. But I understand that there's a whole bunch of buyers out there that do want to get their offer accepted. So this is going to be some really good ways and effective ways to get your offer accepted. Now, the number one thing, and there's going to be 6 tips. Okay, so we're going to talk about 6 things. Number one, mindset. You guys are going to have to go into this market with the right mindset, or quite frankly, in my opinion, it's going to eat you alive, because it is a very, remember this, it is a very toxic seller's market. So the very number one thing, go in with the right mindset. And what does that mean exactly? It's gonna mean that essentially you're going to need to look at purchasing a home as the long term. Okay, so have a long-term investment idea when you're purchasing a home, and you're gonna want to plan for the worst, hope for the best, plan for the worst. And I want you guys to think about, if you do own right now, feel comfortable with a possible equity loss in your home, right? So you may have to hold your home for 10 years, 7 to 10 years, and you may lose some equity. And if you're content with that, if you're comfortable with doing those things, then let's move on to number 2. Now, number 2 is going to be the professionals you work with. You're going to want to work with the right loan officer and the right realtor. But the number one thing I want to cover on number 2 is treat your professionals right. Real estate agents are quitting the market. Loan officers are burnt out. They're right along with you in this process. Now, I want you to understand, when a realtor shows a buyer houses, they're driving around, they're showing 40 houses. I do this myself, 40 houses. They're spending all this gas, and a lot of people give up. So a lot of these realtors right now, quite frankly, are burnt out. And the same thing with loan officers. They're sending out pre-qual letters, they're sending out payments, and their buyers are dropping out. So I want you guys to do the best you can at treating your professionals right. But also, likewise, make sure you're working with professionals that are giving you the time, because this is still the largest transaction of your life. So you need to treat it like that. They need to treat it like that. And my opinion is you need to take their opinions very seriously, okay? And another thing, make sure when you're talking to your loan officer that they're also giving you the payment options, so that you're able to know how, estimated payments. Make sure you're getting estimated payments for your loan officer, and make sure you're planning out how to see houses and which houses to see with your realtor. I cannot express that enough, you guys. Even though that you need them to be there, you need them to show you houses and let you in houses, you're gonna need estimated payments before you even show up to that house, but treat them with overwhelming love. Don't forget that they're human beings also, and they're not making any money if you're not closing, okay? Now, let's move on to number 3. Number 3, and this is a big one, have your financing in order. Unless you're making a cash offer, right? Have your financing in order. What that means is be properly pre-qualified or pre-approved prior to even looking at houses. And I'm talking about, you're gonna want a loan officer to fully review, right? Fully review the hardest one, income. Make sure all of your income stuff is sent into your loan officer. As a loan officer of nearly 20 years, I could tell you the biggest thing, usually the biggest thing, the most complicated thing is income verification. So make sure you're fully qualified with income, with credit, and with your down payment. Those things are super duper vital. So I want you guys to make sure that all of that stuff is in order. Now, a little bit of strategies. If you can adapt your loan to a conventional loan, usually that's going to be a little bit better from the seller's mindset. Personally, I think it's ridiculous. As long as you're pre-qualified for a loan and you close on a loan, they should accept it. But right now, the sellers are generally, from what I'm saying, in my opinion, are leaning towards conventional financing or cash. So if there's a way you can switch to conventional instead of maybe a down payment assistance program or an FHA, you're definitely going to want to explore that, because the reality is, for some reason, a lot of sellers are leaning towards the conventional if it's the same offer as an FHA or even a VA for that matter. And onto the, on VA loans, honestly, if I was a seller personally, I would, and all the offers were equal, I would choose a VA loan just because it's a veteran. They've served our country. They should get first dibs in my eyes. But the thing is not everyone knows that. A lot of people assume that a VA loan is a lot harder, when there's only a couple things that are different about a VA loan, but it's not even that much. So again, you guys, make sure all of your financing is in order, have your application fully complete, make sure that your loan officer runs something called AUS, which stands for Automated Underwriting System. So go to your loan officers now, ask them, did you run AUS on my file? And if they say yes, ask them, what did you use? Which AUS service did you use? Usually it's either Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, which is DU or LP, Desktop Underwriter, Fannie Mae, LP, Loan Prospector, Freddie Mac, okay? That's a really good way to hold your loan officer accountable as well. They're not used to customers coming at them with industry terms. So remember, call your loan officer. Did you run AUS? Was it LP or DU, okay? That's a really good tip. Having your financing in order is absolutely vital, because you have no business looking at houses unless you can get the money, right? And not only that, you know what your payment is. You need to know what to expect when it comes to a payment. Now, let's move on to the next one. Now, here's number 4. And again, y'all, I'm not saying that I would even recommend this with my own clients, but number 4, aggressive offers. Unfortunately, because we're in a one of the most toxic seller markets I have ever seen, you must be aggressive when making an offer, especially if you fall in love with something. If you want, this is a little bit controversial, but if you want some junk house, maybe it's not necessary, but no one wants the junk houses, right? You want something at least that you like. So you're gonna wanna make aggressive offers. So let's talk about what that means. Now, it has a little bit to do with financing. So a lot of times what sellers wanna see is not the minimum down payment. Sellers generally wanna see a 20% down payment and conventional financing, but other things they wanna see, a quick closing date. That's a little bit difficult for me to go into a little bit, but if you can close in less than 30 days, generally the sellers are gonna like that. Now, in order to close in 30 days, you must talk to your loan officer. Your loan officer is generally in control with their company, right? It takes underwriting and processing and a lot of parties involved, but generally you need to talk to your loan officer to see if you can even close that soon. A lot of times it gets bottlenecked and you can't even close in 30 days. But if you can, try to close in less than 30 days. Also waive all contingencies, not your appraisal contingency, but waive contingencies like having them pay for closing costs. Now again, I'm not gonna do that, okay? I'm not gonna go and make an offer on a house and not have the seller pay closing costs. On every home I've ever purchased, the seller has paid closing costs, because quite frankly, it could be $5,000 to $10,000, and if the seller's willing to pay it, who's about to cash in, I don't want to pay it. I'm moving into a house. I'm extending myself. So every home I've ever bought in my entire lifetime, the seller pays closing costs. But in this market, if you insist on buying, you're not gonna want to ask to have the seller pay closing costs. Okay. Another thing is pay for, and this is a really good strategy actually. Pay for the owner's title policy. Okay. It used to be, when it was a buyer's market, I would say over 90% of transactions, the seller was paying OTP, or owner's title policy. Fast forward till today, you're gonna wanna pay for the owner's title policy, and you're gonna wanna pay for the survey. So those are, and the last thing here is, and I really hate to say this, y'all, but you're gonna wanna offer over asking. Okay, the question is, and I hate that this is even a question right now, but the question is how much am I willing to pay over the asking price? I hate to say that to you, but that is how you're gonna get your offer accepted. You go in aggressive over asking price. Now, a lot of times for every $10,000 you go up, it's generally a difference of $50 in a payment that I've seen, in my opinion, right? This is just my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. And real quick, guys, like this video, okay? Subscribe to my channel. You guys see that how transparent I'm being. Y'all see how much information I'm giving to you guys. Share this video, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and comment, all right? I read all of my comments. I definitely appreciate it. Even the trolls. I find the trolls fascinating, right? And I find people that are over-opinionated fascinating. I'm merely giving you my data. I'm sharing my opinion. I'm not holding a gun to anyone's head, forcing them to watch this video, right? If you have a problem with my content, make your own. But for the people that are learning, I love you guys. Keep commenting, keep sharing your data, keep sharing your opinion, but you gotta get aggressive. You don't have necessarily time to wait, okay? Don't wait. If you wanna show your family the house, or your grandma or your parents or whoever the house, Skype. Okay, you're gonna have to get Skype on this, right? So be aggressive. That is generally the only way you're gonna be able to get an offer accepted for a home that you love. Now let's move on to the next thing. Number 5. Now, I know it's your realtor's job. You know, realtor has a lot of jobs, right? And a lot of people assume that they cannot get up-to-date information from the MLS, multiple listing service. That's wrong, okay? Your realtor's job is many things: to get you into the house, to put all of the paperwork together. It's a tedious process for these realtors. That's why number 1 was show love. Number 2 was show love, mindset, and then show love. These realtors have to put a lot of paperwork together, okay? So this opinion is stay active on MLS. The moment that I wake up in the morning, the first thing I'm doing, I'm going to har.com, because I'm in Houston and I'm looking at the inventory that's coming on the market immediately. You have to stay active. You cannot rely on only just the realtor. You must rely on yourself as well to continuously look what's coming on the market. And when you see something on the market that possibly fits what you're looking for or comes in close, you better schedule an appointment to get out there as soon as possible and make your mind up right away. Now, some of the ways you're going to make your mind up is, again, getting your payment information, understanding how much it's going to cost, how much you're willing to go over market, but you must act swiftly and you must stay active. The whole mindset where we can take our time, have our family come out, let me think about it, you're losing opportunity. Okay, again, I'm coming at you from the seller's aspect. My own clients, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say, hold on, think about this. But nevertheless, there's still some people that must buy and must get their offers accepted. And again, you must stay active. Don't sleep on it. The moment something comes on the market, go out to see it, okay? Now let's move on to the next thing. Number 6, and this is also a really good strategy, and I've actually experienced this: get personal. And what I mean by that is with your purchase contract that you send in, a potential purchase contract that you send in, write a note, right? Try to touch the heart of the seller. Write some type of note. And what I have also seen, and it is what it is, okay? It's just my opinion. It is what it is. I have my children draw a picture. Right? They draw a picture of the house and a family, maybe a little chimney with some smoke coming out of it and some birds flying in the sky. But that really touches some people. Not everyone is greedy, right? And if an offer is very similar, one to the other, and both are conventional loans, same terms, one has a personal letter with drawings from children, that one may get accepted over this other one. So I cannot reiterate this enough. Try to get personal. Take your time to write a little bit of a letter to the seller. Maybe have your children draw a picture with some crayon, maybe some marker, not Picasso, not like the Mona Lisa. Go outside of the lines when they're coloring, right? Be real is my point, okay? So that's a really good tip. Now, here's the thing. Now, this is called how to win, right? I got to go back to number 7, okay? Here's how I'm going to end this. Number 7, wait, okay? Wait and don't settle. It's better no deal than a bad deal. I just want to close off like that. I want everyone to tread lightly, okay? I don't know 100% if there's going to be a crash. I definitely know there's going to be a cool down. The demand is just so high right now. I really feel like there's so many suppressed buyers that are waiting for a crash or waiting for a cool down. Once the inventory starts going up, is that just going to be grabbed up? I don't know. There may not be a crash. I know there's going to be a cool down. I believe there's going to be a crash, but you guys, I just want to end with that opinion. If you can, if there's any way for you to wait, hold out. I think the longer that you hold out, the more inventory you're going to have, right? And another thing, expand your area. Okay, I'm just going to add 6B on this. Okay, here's 6B. Expand your area a little bit, right? Don't go into metro areas, especially if you can work out of your house. Go in the outskirts, right? You'll find a little bit more options there. Again, guys, I hope this helps. Again, you know, just my own experience, I lost over $300,000 in equity in Southern California virtually overnight during the 2008 and 2009 housing crash. So I don't want you to have that happen to you. But at that time, I did not have that right mindset. I did not have a long-term mindset, like I told you guys. Now, other than that, if you're comfortable with all of the things that I just said, then get out there and go find you a house, and good luck. Put an offer in. I hope it gets accepted. I hope you love the house. I hope it works well for you. Other than that, once again, comment below. I thank you guys for listening and walking through this journey with me. Sit tight and good luck. I hope you win. Until next time.